Yeah, y'all, it's your boy Philadelphia Freeway, and you tuned in to King's Court with my man DJ Hustle.
Yo, this your boy Trick Daddy Dollars, and I'm in King Court with my dog DJ Hustle.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This is B.O.B. and right now you're locked into King's Court. And my brother from another, DJ Hustle.
You tuned in to King's Court TV, man. DJ Hustle, Power 104.4. We got a special guest today, man. We bring a lot of people by, but this man right here, man, came on the scene in 2003. Hit you with that Rubber Band Man production. Then he hit you with Mississippi, and in the same year came back with Baptized in Dirty Water.
Yes, I did, brother.
The man right here, Mississippi's own. He's an actor, an activist, and he still rap from time to time. Yeah, when he feel like
when
it.
I feel like it. Bro, I didn't know it was going to be, because when they told me it was with Power, I would have shaved for you, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm always fly. Let's get it right. I would have shaved for you, though, bro. But it's good, man. It's an honor to be here, man. It was funny when I was coming up here, man, was these kids who ran up to me and was like, yo, you David Banner. And I was like, yeah, every day. And I heard one of them whisper, and he said some artist's name. I wasn't able to make out the artist's name, but he was like, man, he ain't act like dude, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's the tone of the language here?
You say what you want to say.
I can say fuck? Okay, I'll just make sure. Damn, motherfucker. I was just wondering what was the tone of the language. Well, fuck then. But I heard him whisper, like, man, like that's cool as hell, bro. And I was thinking, man, about how grateful I am, and I think me being from Mississippi and remembering how people used to treat us. You know what I'm saying? When they would come, you know, they didn't want to come out of VIP. They didn't want to touch the people. And I said I wanted to try to be that person that people could see on television or hear on the radio, bro, that could still touch and feel them. Like, I still work out, you know, in the YMCA. I still work out publicly because I want people to see me. I want people to know that there's somebody who can make it on that level and can still be amongst them. You know what I'm saying?
Black Superman.
Yeah.
He the Colin Kaepernick of hip-hop.
Oh, man. Well, but the thing is, I ain't gonna tell all my folks to take a knee.
Yeah.
I don't want our folks to take a knee. I want our folks to do something.
That's what we got to do. We're going to get into that, too.
I put on Twitter this morning, I said I wish our people believed in the God that made them do and not wait.
That's it. That's a good one. That's a good one. And I'm glad to have you here on today because today is a special day.
Okay.
Today marks the 50th anniversary of Dr. Martin Luther King being murdered in Memphis, Tennessee. Mm-hmm. And you being an activist and being part of the culture and Black excellence, we're going to touch on that. I think today is a day of reflection, being that Martin Luther King is his death date. Mm-hmm. But first I want to reflect on David Banner, the evolution of David Banner from then to now. Right. Because I think we as men, we move and we go, and we don't ever really sit back and really take in what we've done as a whole and accomplished.
Nor as Black people do we spend time on acknowledging the people who are doing the work, who are right here in front of you. You know, I believe, you know, when Michael Jackson died, I was pissed off that everybody was running around listening to his music now. Maybe if you would have did that last week, maybe what happened wouldn't have happened. You feel what I'm saying? If you look at our greatest people, if you look at the year before Martin died, it was like the worst year of his life. Look at the year before Malcolm died. Like, it was the worst year of his life. Right, they lost, both of them lost like 70% of their constituency like the year before they died. And last year, bro, you would have been proud of me. I spoke in front of 300,000 people for the largest Martin Luther King march in America that actually goes on in San Antonio, and people don't give it any light. And initially, I wasn't going to speak at the event because I am not a full supporter of what America broadcasts about Martin Luther King. But when I did the research, Martin Luther King close to the end of his death was probably more like Malcolm than Malcolm was a year. Right.
They was about to link up.
Well, yeah, that's what I think. I think they both realized the truth is somewhere in the middle. You know what I'm saying? And that's why they both died. You feel what I'm saying? But one of the things that I realized, man, is that like Martin told Harry Belafonte right before he died, I think I've integrated my people into a burning house. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I think it's important. We spend a lot of time reflecting on the heroes of the past, but the same people who are doing that, I give black folks an example all the time. They always talk about Jesus, 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 but the people who are doing the same thing that Jesus did during those times, those are the revolutionaries. Jesus was bucking and fighting against the religion of the time. But then when I do that, and I tell black folks that something ain't right about the religions that we believe in, you know, they take us and put us on the cross.
We the bad guys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the book, we go.
Yeah.
We're
going to pace them a little bit. Yeah.
So we're going to get into more. We're going to get into how far we've come, how far we got to go, and all of the religion. I really want to touch on that too. But first, like I said, we're going to do a reflection on David Banner.
Right.
So I'm going to take you through a journey
Right.
of your own career. And when I say a year, I just want you to tell me who was David Banner in that year.
Okay.
What was going on in your mind, who you were, because this is evolution, because David Banner was the Incredible Hulk.
Right.
And I feel like when you came out, I see what you were doing. David Banner turned into somebody going to vote. But when you came out, you were the Incredible Hulk already. You were, rah, Mississippi, yeah. You know what I mean?
It's funny that what you're saying is so true that, and I'll take it a step further. People don't know, I had a 3.9987 at the University of Maryland, right? But the thing that I think that's important is because it was so many similarities between me and the comic book hero David Banner, and I realized from an African standpoint, you have to be careful of what you name yourself or the names that other people give to you because they're almost prophetic. And I almost just changed my name to Banner just because it was so many blaring similarities, and I'm not going to talk about it right now because I think that you're about to allow it to unfold and what you're about to do. But yeah.
Because right now I'm talking to David Banner. In 2003, I'd have been talking to the Incredible Hulk. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't.
A fucking maniac, bro.
Yeah, we're about to get to it. Okay. So I'm gonna give you the year, give you a little bit out of it, and then you just take it from there. Just who David Banner is. So people, like you said, you want people to know. So these people are about to get to know the struggle, the pain, what happened, your father's death, all that good stuff. So we're gonna get into it. So in 1992, graduated from high school. David Banner's going to college. Southern University, his mother's alma mater.
Right. It was a little crazy because what people don't know was my mother and my father, they had got separated right before I went to college. So we were like middle class. And from a money perspective, my parents made enough money to be an upper middle class and to stay in a nicer neighborhood, but similar to most rappers, when they made some really bad decisions. So like when I got older and found out how much money my parents really made in the way that we lived, I was sort of bitter. I was like, dude, y'all helped out other people, helped out other family members and did certain things, and like, dude, like really, we was living like that, making that much money. So what ended up happening is my mother and my father got a separation, and my mother moved to New Orleans. So all of the bills on the family were on my dad now. And my dad was a recovering alcoholic. So my mother had told my dad if he got drunk, because he was driving fire trucks at the time, and if he got in trouble one more time, he would lose his job. So my mom was like, if you drink one more time, we leaving. And I think my dad thought my mom was just talking. So he got drunk again. My mom packed the shit, and you know when you're a fireman, you work 24 hours. So she told me, she was real with me, she was like, we leaving tomorrow. She's like, so I'm just, be ready. And she packed her stuff, she left. And what people didn't know, my mom was sleeping on my godmother's floor in New Orleans in Pontchartrain Park, and I had to go to college. So literally, like, I was living close to almost homeless in college. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't nothing my dad could do because he had double the bills, and my mom was living in New Orleans. So it was a real crazy time for me. But I'd like to make a comment. Now that I'm older, I see that all of those things prepare you. Like, I think Christianity especially has taught black people that pain equals God's wrath. I don't believe that. I think pain equals God's love. Because in all of the painful situations in your life, if you don't die, there's a lesson for you to learn. So I asked God, why? No. I don't ask God why. I ask God what? What's the lesson? So those were some of the hardest times. Like, I'll tell you how hard it was on me. I was sleeping on the floor, and I used to take all my clothes and put all my clothes in the middle of the floor, and I would sleep on my clothes. And then when it was time for me to go to class the next day, you know, and this was after we moved out the dorms. I'm sort of encapsulating that whole 2 years. I would pick the clothes off of the floor, shake them out, put them on, and then go to school. But the thing is I was a fierce, and a lot of people don't know this. Regina actually works for me, and she said that she just found this out. I used to be a fierce battle rapper. Like, probably one of the greats. Like, folks that knew me back then, that David Banner, I was like, yeah, because that was before Crooked Letters. Like, I was a battle rapper. So a lot of the reasons why people didn't know that I was suffering, because I think I hid behind being such a dope lyricist at the time, and people respected and revered that. So I don't think they was able to really see, like, how broke I was at that time. So the pain came through the music. Yeah, well, it came through not really, because that was what the culture was. I think the pain, bro, came through me, because, like, one thing that people don't know about me, and I'll tell this if you talk about me being SGA president, I was really a recluse. I still am. People don't know that. Like, I realized that you can't be outwardly successful being as much of a recluse as I was, but think about it. During that time, I was into hip-hop. When most of my friends was listening to P, and which I listened to some of that stuff too, like, of course, A-Baller, MJG, Scarface, but during those times, man, I was listening to Digging in the Crates, Souls and Mischief, West Coast Cab. Like, I would escape through hip-hop is what probably kept me from killing people. You know, I would literally, even in the summer, I had black hoodies. I would put my headphone in a tape deck, and I would just hide behind, you know, my third bass and my Stetson Sonic or Tila Rock or whoever I was listening to, because I would always tell my homeboys in the hood, it was like, bro, why you listening to the fucking beat nuts? And I would tell them, I was like, dude, the shit that we live in, why would you want to listen to that in your spare time too? Like, it's like they almost, and I realized that even now, they trapped us. They tricked us into trapping ourselves and alleviating the ability to dream. So, like, during those hard times, hip-hop, I remember when I had the worst time of my life, and Souls and Mischief's first album got me through my whole depression. Goody Mob changed I told CeeLo, me and CeeLo are friends now. I told CeeLo, like, bro, like, literally, I'm not talking figuratively. Goody Mob helped save my whole fucking entire life. They helped me escape. And then these were some dudes who lived like I lived, the other side of me, who lived the way that I lived, but chose to do something better.
Like you said, a lot of people don't know you were the president of the student body at Southern University. So as a recluse, how did you...
Well, I turned into something else. It was actually a young man who's from Atlanta. I'm not going to call his name. He was the SGA president, but he wasn't, he was more of a get money type of SGA president. But he taught me my greatest lessons. He said, you can't let anybody pass you. And I'm not joking. We should do a movie about this, bro. Literally, he told me, he said, you can't let nobody pass you. You have to speak and get to know everybody. So anybody that I passed, I got to know what I did. this is the real story, man. This is gonna trip you out. So when I was talking about, you know, me living on my clothes and all that kind of stuff, that was like right before that time. And so the only way I could get back to, because I lived off campus, to get back, because the buses didn't run that way, I have to bum rides. So since I was a rapper, I turned my raps into poetry. People still don't know that to this day. When I do poems like on TV and people be crying and thinking I'm so deep, they really just be verses. I'm dead serious. But since we from the South and they don't think we can rap, like I literally would write raps and then, you know, just say them like this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I used to go to the poetry readings and, you know, I would always have a dope poem so I could always find a ride home. You know what I'm saying? So one day we were at a poetry reading and the president before me, he took the money from the SGA and bought some silk drawers. And like the student population was just tired of people taking advantage of us. You know, because even if you think about now, look at our mayors. Just about any mayor in the United States, they're for the people and then they become for the system. I remember this mayor, man, he was for the people. Then there was a standoff like a week after he became mayor and he was standing on the side of the cops. No, you're supposed to be a representation of the people. As a matter of fact, let me finish telling the story, then I'll go back to that. So they were in there bitching and moaning about the presidency, you know, and the president and blah, blah, blah. And I've always been this way. Don't talk about something that you're not willing to do something about. If you're not going to do nothing, if you're not going to be part of the process, if you're not going to get out on the streets and fight, shut the fuck up. So I stood up, not even wanting, because I always thought politics was some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? No, them motherfuckers don't give a fuck about us, the everyday ordinary person. And I stood up and said, if y'all motherfuckers will stop bitching, I'll run. Not really wanting to run. I'm just not really talking shit because I did it, but like I was just trying to show them, like, if y'all shut up or let's do something about it. Them motherfuckers said, if you run, we got you. Y'all full of shit. I'm gonna go sign up tomorrow. I signed up tomorrow. And we kept doing this until one day I turned around and was like, oh shit.
You was Trump.
And let me tell you something. No, I wasn't Trump, but
I'm just saying, like, you didn't think he was going.
Yeah, I see what you said. Yeah. But or the antithesis of. What I will say is that I'll never forget it, and I tell people this all the time. People are so scared of failure. The failure isn't what you should be scared of. If you fail, then you go back to being whoever you were. It's when you win that you have to step up to the cause, or you have to step up to the plate and be ready to bat. But if you don't make the team, then you just go back being a regular motherfucker. So what you should really fear is success. And that's what I learned. Most people are truly afraid of success, not failing. But bro, I can say this to this day. Bro, I've been all around the world, man. I've received accolades from all over the world, man. But me being SGA president at Southern University in Baton Rouge is the greatest accomplishment in my life. That is what showed me within the microcosm that I can do anything that I put my mind to. And I ran in a way, it was the first time in my life that I didn't cut corners. It was the first time in my life that I didn't even have sex with none of the women on the campus while I was SGA president. Now I went over to LSU and I was a beast. I was a beast. I got it off. But what I realized is I didn't want to take my influence and use it against the people. Now, maybe I shouldn't have thought of it this way, but I thought of every student on that campus, I thought of them as my children. Not as I'm the father and I'm better than you, but I really looked at it like my staff had to put me out of the office one day because I would work in that bitch for 8 hours. I felt like if they were giving me that stipend, that I had to work 8 hours for our people, bro. I worked so hard as SGA president, bro, that the day of graduation was one of the saddest days in my life, besides the IRS stuff. Because I didn't do anything my senior year with SGA. I'm gonna tell you how hard I worked. My teachers, who did not play at all, would let me sleep in class. It was like, he's the exception to the rule. Let him sleep. They would let me sleep in my class because they know that students were always coming at me. You know what I'm saying? That I was always working. They would let me sleep in class. Like, I would do the work, but they was like, this is the only place that nobody can bother you. Come on in, you good. And I would literally put my head down and go to sleep in class sometimes because they really knew that we were fighting for the people. And, bro, I had organized, or we had organized, because it wasn't all me. It was people from all over the world that assisted me. I had a homeboy from Cali named Perry right now. He created what because they used to call me Crump Tight. And it's funny, Trump Tight, it's funny that you say that. But he created these flyers, and he never, I had to find out that he did it himself. I even tell my employees to this day, like, you don't have to tell me or ask me to do something that you know gonna benefit me. As long as it don't cost me no money, I don't give a damn. He created like 10,000 flyers and put them on fuchsia paper and woke up one morning at 5 o'clock and just threw them all over the campus. And we woke up one morning and it was just Crump Tight flyers everywhere. And understand, I was still dead broke. Like when I first started running, when we went outside, I think we had like I had worked up for like $200 for all the stuff for my campaign. Man, you had people that was spending $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000. The first morning we went out with our 30 posters. My competition had a flyer, it had a poster on every door on campus. I almost quit that day. Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? Is this what it is? But yeah, that still is the crowning moment of my life, man. That's when I really believe I became a man. You know?
Became a man at Southern University and moved on to the University of Maryland.
Yeah. Well, the University of Maryland, to add to that story, a lot of people don't know this either. I was literally homeless after graduation. This is a story that people don't know about. The administration at Southern, at the time when I was SGA president, they were not doing, I don't want to make accusations on top of accusations because it's still a black college. But everything that they were doing was not on board. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's probably the downfall of a lot of our black institutions to this day, but I got wind of it, and it takes an audit 30 days to turn around for a university to know that they're being audited. So the day before my tenure was up as SGA president, I had Southern University audited, and they didn't figure it out till I left. So hopefully it was one of the things that hopefully it cleaned up the school, because my mom told me something that I never forget, and this is something people don't know. One of the workers said that they tried to get her to open, somebody from the administration tried to get them to open my door so they could put drugs in my room. Because I was like, dude, it looked like 1965 when I was on campus at Southern. And it show you how you treat people well. She said she wouldn't open it because I was like a son. To this day, bro, these are the two people you got to always take care of. The secretaries and the people that clean up the buildings. They know everything. They know more of the inner runnings of a building than any of the CEOs do. And plus, I'm from Mississippi. We always kind to our elders anyway. You know what I mean? So just to close that part of my life so we can move on, I hadn't prepared for real life. I hadn't sent out no resumes. Like I told you before, I hadn't done no intern because I worked from 9 to 5 in that office, straight up like it was a job. So like, this was one of the scariest things that ever happened in my life. I graduated and everybody else was happy. I didn't know what else the fuck to do. Yeah, I just done that, and music had always been my focus, you feel me? So what happened is I ended up going to one of the ladies in the back of the campus where people don't go too much, told her the real situation, and they found a way to seek, to hire me And I was working in the back of the campus and people didn't even know. So I end up writing the old president who was there the first half of my term. She was a really, really good person. I mean, she was really for the kids, you know what I mean? But she ended up going to the University of Maryland, and I wrote her a letter, a handwritten letter. I tell these kids to this day, one of my homeboys got into a prestigious college because he wrote a handwritten letter, something that people can feel and touch. And I told her what was going on in my life. I'm talking about open my heart all the way up. And she told me, she said, if you can get to the uni, she gave me a full scholarship to the University of Maryland. And I went there to make sure that, you know, her investment in me was 100. I went there and really worked. And I didn't know it, but I was one of the top students in the master's program. And I wasn't really even trying that hard. Just getting it done. I've always been smart, bro. I never would say it on campus, on camera, but it's true. I've always, when I was in the second grade, I read on the junior college level. And I think that's what happens to most of us because of slavery and because of white supremacy. Like, I really believe I was supposed to been in like something like physics or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Tip should have been a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? Killer Mike should have been a professional, I wouldn't even say politician, but something that got to do with speaking, because he touches your spirit. Even if you don't know what the hell you talking about, Mike touches your fucking spirit. But because we're forced to be in impoverished areas with limited resources and limited vision. Like, bro, I didn't know you could be an oceanographer. I didn't know that people would pay you to research fucking water. Shit, if I would have known that, I'd have, you know what I'm saying? But we don't know it, and they know we don't know. So I wrote her a letter, and she said, if you get, and I never told this to nobody before, but because I feel your spirit, I tell you, and my grandma dead, so. So she said, if you get to the University of Maryland, I'll take care of everything else. But I was dead broke. So my mom had $700 in her bank account. She gave me $650, and my grandmother went to the grocery store and stole some food. Like literally stole, put some meat in her titties, and my grandma had real big titties. I liked her titties too. She told me not to ever tell nobody that, but she did now, so I guess it's all good. My grandmother stole food, and when I got to the University of Maryland, after tolls and all it took for me to get there, I think I may have had $19 left. You know.
So that's the first half after high school up through college. Now we're gonna go to 1999. Mm-hmm. You got a partner named Kamikaze. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got a group called Crooked Letters.
Yeah, y'all, it's your boy Philadelphia Freeway, and you tuned in to King's Court with my man DJ Hustle.